Sadhguru, what can I do for my guru? How can I support you? I felt like I want to do something, but I didn't know what.
The best thing you can do is don't poison yourself with all those things. That's the best thing you can do for your guru. I want all of you to remember this. The best thing that you can ever do for your guru, if at all if you feel like you want to do, is that you drop your nonsense and grow. What's the best thing a garden can do for a gardener? To grow and bloom, isn't it? No, we want to do this to you, we want to do that to you. That's not the intention, that's not the goal. The best thing you can do for anybody is, you must do what they want, isn't it? Not what you want. Always this is the problem. The best thing you can do for anybody is, you must do what they want. So, there is nothing you can do. The best thing you can do is you grow and blossom. Drop your nonsense. Your past nonsense, you leave it to me. Present nonsense, you handle. If you do that, that's the best thing. Now suppose you died. Even if I died, I will not stop the spiritual part of my activity. So I'm not so concerned about that. Yes, we're concerned. The foundation could be hurt, activity could be hurt, but not the spiritual part of the work. The concern is that people will be here and if they don't grow. I planted people in my garden and they never blossomed, and that I'm terrified of. So, those of you who are very patient, who want to come here for 10 lifetimes and do it, I'm okay with them, but I think we must build an outer ashram for them. Even here there is in a way, but we wouldn't like that to be here because of various reasons. We would like everybody who comes here to be absolutely there in the very core of what's happening. I don't want to create a core and a periphery here. Here there's only one burning spot, that's everywhere. So, if you've seen the popcorn? You never seen popcorn? It's just a damn corn, how it flowered, the right amount of heat. But some get burnt, some won't pop. That's because they don't. All of them were given the same heat, but some don't receive it properly. They do funny things, and instead of popping, they get charred. Instead of flowering, have you seen a popcorn flowering? That's one flower, you can see it happening, right? The other flowers take too much time. So right there, it opens up in front of you. So, have you seen this happening to people when they come to inner engineering, Bhavaspadana? In 3 days' time, people are like that. But we don't want them to stop there because we are Attanika Asapadu people. You know what that means? We desire for everything, we don't desire for this much growth or that much growth. We are not willing to settle for anything less than the whole. If you are willing to settle for peace, we could settle you very easily. If you're willing to settle for love, we would settle you very easily. If you're willing to settle for blissfulness, we could settle you very easily. But we are Attanika Asapadu. We won't settle for anything, we want it all. Because of that kind of mode, it's just on and on and on. If you're willing to settle for any one of those things, peace, love, satisfaction, happiness, we could have settled you up very easily. So if you just want to settle for any one of them, it's okay, it's your choice. But and you need not be in the core of things. You could be anywhere and still do that, you know. So what could I do? Especially if Sadhguru is going to die tomorrow, you must blossom tonight, isn't it? So I want you to look at life like this. Either you may die or I may die tomorrow morning. So something should happen tonight, isn't it so?
What is it that prevents you from knowing yourself? What is it that prevents you from realizing your divine, infinite nature? It is your ego. It's your mind. And unless you surrender it to the existence, unless you surrender it to your guru, your spiritual master, you cannot realize the truth of your being. You cannot know who you really are. Remember, a true spiritual master doesn't want anything from you. That's what Sadhguru hinted at in his talk. All a spiritual master wants is your growth. All he cares about is your spiritual evolution. All he cares about is the shift of your identity, which is now based in egoic mind, to the identity based in consciousness, based in awareness. Right? Surrender of the ego is a must for enlightenment. Surrender of the ego is a must for self-realization. And how would you know? How would you really know whether you have really surrendered your ego or not? If you have surrendered your ego, you would then remain in the mode of acceptance. If you have surrendered your ego, you would then stop resisting what happens to you. You would then stop resisting what universe brings in your life. The people, the things, the circumstances, nothing would then have the power to make you feel threatened. Nothing would then have the power to make you behave unconsciously. No matter what, you would then do everything consciously. You must recognize this simple fact that it's your resistance to what happens which is the cause of your suffering, which is the cause of all your problems. Just have a close look at your life and see what response you give to the situation when it's not in your favor. What response you give to the situation where everyone is against you. How do you respond when someone talks to you rudely? How do you respond when someone is accusing you of something you haven't done? Are you then able to accept that and behave in a conscious manner, or you just react unconsciously? You just need to think over it. Remember, it's conscious living alone which will transform your life, which will make you realize the truth of your being. In fact, the first step that you can take on the path of conscious living is to see how ego runs your life, how all your actions are motivated by egoic wants and cravings. Unless you recognize the egoic patterns within you, it's not possible to get rid of them. And this is where Guru comes into picture. He or she acquaints you with your inner world whose ruler is your ego. So try to recognize the egoic patterns within you. And recognition is enough. Recognition is the very depth of that pattern. Because who recognizes the egoic pattern? It's the consciousness in you. It's the awareness in you which recognizes that, egoic pattern. And so when you recognize any egoic pattern within you, you are then no more the ego. You are then the consciousness at that very moment. You are the awareness at that very moment, which recognizes that egoic pattern. So just try to recognize the egoic pattern, and awareness will do the rest. Also, when you recognize any egoic pattern within you, you then feel a subtle emanation of peace within yourself. That is your own peace. The divine peace, which is not the result of any favorable situation in the external world. It is uncaused. It has got no cause behind it, because it is your own. That's the peace about which Jesus said, the peace which passes all understanding.